Got another great show today. We got champion swimmer Morgan Stickney, who made a trip from New Hampshire with her dad, is here today, and a couple of people from Pittsburgh, and we got Pittsburgh one sitting right over there. So we got a great show. I'll turn it over to my buddy Andy, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we do have a great show today, and we are thrilled to have champion swimmer Morgan Stickney in studio. But before we get to Morgan and her story, let's meet the rest of the team. Of course, joining us as always is the founder of the Abington Substance Awareness Coalition, and our special guest panel, or Alex Bazanson, and our special guest co-host Sarah Mohsin from the national radio show, the Mohsin Program, which is a daily radio show about living your best life, right?
It is.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. So wonderful to be here. Kevin, always a pleasure to have some time with you and your family, and Kelly Wilson. And Andy, of course. We have our history, right?
We do.
I love you. But the bottom line is, yes, we are a syndicated radio show daily throughout the country, and we talk about financial literacy. You know, how can we actually look forward, moving forward, making changes in our day-to-day lives, and getting a chance to choose, you know, having that choice, knowing that you have choices in your financial future. So whether it's home ownership or eliminating debt or simply having that financial freedom so that you can spend time with family and invest in faith, those are really primary.
And it airs on?
It does air on Salem Radio. It's the Mohsin Program, daily 11 a.m. here in Massachusetts, and obviously you can go on to hashtag the Mohsin Program to listen to some of the stories. One was with our great friend Kevin Stevens here as well.
And Kelly, and it also airs in Pittsburgh.
It does air in Pittsburgh. We have a show that's at noon on Saturdays, and Kelly Wilson was on air very recently, and looking forward to attending the event, Shattered, September 10th. As well as we have our Florida stations. So we do have a number of stations.
And I think with Sarah and stuff, like, I used you guys, you know, for if you have, like, you know, a lot of us that get stuck in this addiction or stuck in this thing that we call addiction where credit and stuff gets bad, but I was able, for me to get a mortgage, you got to pull a lot of strings, you know. So I'm just, you know, if anybody's out there that needs thinking about getting a house or any type of assistance, they're great people, easy to talk to, and you know, I recommend you give them a call and check it out.
They do good work. They'll help you.
Yeah.
Can you give us your website?
Yes, our website is www.mmcmtg.com.
All right.
So,
Good.
so moving on.
Yes.
Moving on. I'm going to sound like Brian Gumbel in Real Sports. Moving on. I just read an article in Quartz.com, which is a workplace news site. And the title of the article was How to Manage Opioid Addiction in the Workplace by Ann Clark, and she was the founder and CEO of ACI Specialty Benefits. So basically what she's saying is, of the 2 million people that are suffering from opioid addiction, 1.4 million are spending time in workplaces around the country. And she believes that we have to have an effective program to provide confidential counseling sessions with a mental health professional paid for by the employer. And her thought is that the cost should not be a barrier preventing addicted people or their family members from getting the help they need. And she goes on to say that the opioid crisis in itself is real devastating, but it's a symptom of larger problems. And she says rather than focus on a single drug, develop a plan that addresses addiction more broadly. Not only will it strike the root of the problem, but it will also create opportunities for employees suffering from alcoholism and dedicated to getting help. Okay, so my question to you guys is, from an employer's perspective, do you believe that if we can focus more on educating the employers about financial benefits, do you think we would have a better shot of getting more participation by corporate America?
Go ahead.
Well, I think a lot of corporations are now doing this. I know the unions, Local 103, the electrical union here in Massachusetts, they have one employee that's dedicated to just this cause. That's his full-time job, is taking care of the addiction and education and helping the employees out. So I'm not sure what company she's talking about, but I think most companies in this day and age do have programs like that, and they do realize the benefit. If they have healthy workers, they're going to save money.
Right.
I think it's.
I don't think every industry, though, has embraced it, like the hospitality industry or the airline industry or the financial industry. Are they really
Well,
embracing
after talking to Paulie B, I'm sure the airline industry knows what's going on.
I think it could help, and I think a lot of people are doing it, but I think it's still, it's a stigma thing. Like, who wants to come out and say they need help? I think with all the employees or anybody that works, usually comes into a position where you get in trouble. Something happens.
Right.
The drug test is
Something happens
yeah.
where you have to come forward. I don't think a lot of people are saying, out there who are using opiates or drinking too much, voluntarily come in and say, I need help, because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want,
Right.
Usually something blows up first
Right.
before this thing happens. And I think, education is always big, and it could help, people. But I think a lot of companies are looking into this more and more, like Alex said. But it's still a stigma. It's still
There's still a lot of people that are afraid to come
no
forward,
one
no
wants to
matter
come
what.
forward, yeah. No
But
one
a lot of companies now are doing drug testing, so I know in Local 103, I bring that up only because I know the players. If they do drug testing and find out an employee is using, they get them into treatment as soon as possible.
Right.
Literally the next day.
So it's being adapted.
It is being adapted, and I think probably more of the bigger corporations it is. Smaller companies, probably under 50 employees, that's where we need to educate those employers and get them on board. I think the bigger corporation, Fortune 500 companies, the big unions are all doing this, but I think it's the smaller companies that need the education on this.
And even in sports, like in hockey, you don't get anything. Nothing happens to you. You get jammed up. Once you get jammed up, then you're in the program.
Right.
You don't come forward and say, I'm struggling. I want to jump into this program, because no one wants to really be in the program.
Right, because of the stigma.
Yeah,
There
the
is stigma. There's,
yeah.
and the terms need to change. It's
Yeah.
a disease. It's not, addiction becomes kind of like, oh, that means that I'm a bad person. It's not. It's a disease. And we're always in recovery. Every day is a brand new day. It gives an opportunity to choose. And people have a lot of stigma with financial issues. So if you're going to add on addiction with it, even if the corporations have the facilities where you can go in and talk, how many people actually will go in? Because we've had these, workshops.
They're still afraid they're going to lose their job, or
Yes.
something's going to happen to them, even if the companies offer these programs.
Right.
Interesting topic.
Yes.
So we're going to take a short break, and I'm sure we'll talk about this again down the road, but we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.